afternoon to every one of us that are here present and those who are watching us online all across the globe. For a venture, and it's not even possible for me to acknowledge every one of you by your name and the offices you occupy. But this general one is for every one of us. Good afternoon once again. Because you are seated here, you are very, very important to make the list to be here. Those who also have the opportunity of watching us online, I regarded every one of you very, very important personalities. But permit me to acknowledge very few among us who are seated here in this auditorium. May I acknowledge the wife of the governor of Ondo State, Her Excellency Aiyedatiwa. The Deputy Governor, very loyal and amiable Deputy Governor, Dr. Olaide Olabi Adelami MNI. The Speaker, Ondo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olamide Oladiji, who is ably represented by his deputy, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Begudi Lolade. Acknowledge your presence. And the Chief Judge of Ondo State, the head of the judiciary, the third arm of the government, my noble Lord, Honorable Justice Olusegun Ayedun Odushola, acknowledge your presence. Thank you for bearing with us and being here all days with us. Let me also acknowledge the President, Customary Court of Appeal, my noble Lord Justice Eunice Aderunke Alade. The Chief of Staff to Mr. Governor, Prince Segun Omojo, acknowledge you. The Head of Service, Mr. Bayo Phillips. Let me acknowledge all the members of the State Executive Council that are here. Your large number, acknowledge your presence. Other members of the State House of Assembly, all my noble lords that are here, acknowledge every one of you. Thank you for coming. Mr. Sumisma Francis, using you as a port of call to all my special advisors, the special advisor on the entrepreneurship and innovation. Now I'm going to add investment to it by this executive order. Well done, your team, DG, Project Performance, Implementation and Monitoring Unit, Engineer Razak Obey. Well done, and all the members of your team. I acknowledge every one of you. Let me also greet specially my brother and my friend from the Southern Senatorial District who is representing us at the upper chamber, the Senate, who stood in earlier on for the Senate President. I'm acknowledging him in absentia. He has to leave for some reason because tomorrow is his birthday. So he has to go and make some preparation. Distinguished Senator Jimo Ibrahim, representing the Senate President. Let me also acknowledge my brother Tope Fasua, Special Advisor on Economics to Mr. President Office of the Vice President. Thank you for coming. The MD of NITCOM, our own Honorable Abike Dabire-Erewa. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your coming. Thank you so much. I would like to also greet all our panelists. I acknowledge every one of you. Thank you so much for making time out of your hair all our panelists, all those who have spoken on one issue or the other. I acknowledge every one of you. All other government functionaries, our KBACs, I acknowledge every one of you. Let me use as a point of reference the chairman of Ondo State Council of Obas, His Imperial Majesty, Oba Ajibade Gbadegesi Ogunwoye III, the Olowo of Owo, as a point of reference to all our KBACs that are here. Mo ṣe bá orí adé o, adé á pẹ́ lórí, bàtà á pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ á dìgbà, ìyàwó náà máa pọ̀ láàfin. Àbí wọ́n ṣe ń gbà kọ́ yẹn, kí ìlú ba lè tóbi sí náà ni. Our religious leaders acknowledge your presence and thank you for your prayers for us. Reason why we are doing well, hale and hearty, is because God has been helping us. And the church community and also of the other faith, the Muslim community, together they have been lifting up their voices in prayer for this administration and for the leadership. And I will use my Lord Bishop Felix Adejuma as a point of contact to all other ministers of the gospel that are here. Let me also acknowledge all our investors, those that have invested in these states, all of you, and also the potential investors, those that have been able to catch the vision today and that they are going to run with it. I know we have a lot of them in the house. I want to thank all of you for coming. Let me use Sunbird Global, Concept MD, Sukomi, and Mr. Alamo of John Vent Ventures, a point of reference to all of you. Thank you so much. Our service chiefs, I acknowledge your presence. In no particular order, let me acknowledge the Commissioner of Police, CP Lawa, Adibwale Lawa, acknowledge your presence. Thank you so much. General Oluyede, the Chief of Defense Staff, but here being represented by OBF Oladipo, Commander John Task Force South-South Operation Delta State. You are welcome. I acknowledge your presence. Lieutenant General Shuaibu, Chief of Army Staff, is also represented by Brigadier General Ifeanyi, Commander 32 Artillery Brigade. Thank you also for being with us and for the good job you are doing in protecting lives and property in this state as you join other security agents in the joint task exercises. Let me also acknowledge Air Marshal S.K. Aneke, Chief of the Air Staff, who is represented by Air Vice Marshal I.V. Ajiboye. Thank you also for coming. All board chairmen, permanent secretaries, young entrepreneurs that are here looking forward to bigger transactions in the days ahead in the new Ondo. All our pressmen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. For me, it is with a great pleasure and with profound optimism that I welcome you to the Ondo Investment Summit 2026. Today is not just another event. Please permit me to acknowledge Chief Cosmos Maduka. How can I forget? The man that opened the stage without first movers advantage remarks. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you've been doing. Today is not just another event on our calendar. Even though we're gathered here to celebrate our first year anniversary as an elected governor, the 7th elected governor of Ondo State, sworn in on the 24th day of February 2025. It's about 1 year anniversary. And it's a time and a year that Ondo State also just celebrated on the 3rd of February, our 30 years of creation as an entity. All of these put together, it's a bold decision and a dear clear commitment to repositioning Ondo State for sustainable prosperity, because this time is a defining moment for us. This event, that is the summit, marks a defining moment in the economic evolution of Ondo State. We are gathered here with the clarity of purpose, and that purpose is to unlock opportunity, to forge partnerships, and to position Ondo State as a premier investment destination in Nigeria and also in Africa. Just witnessed some hours ago when we signed those 2 MOU about the deep sea port, unlimited access to other countries of the world, because there's no boundary when you are at the coastline. You can access anywhere in the world from there through the sea. And also the fertilizer and petrochemical plant that will be built in the Southern Senatorial District of Ondo State. For decades, many subnational economies across our country have relied heavily on civil service structures. However, Ondo State has chosen a different path. Beyond today's conversations, let me assure you, we will be tracking the outcomes of every engagement, investment discussions, and decisions from this very summit. At the next investment summit, we have taken a decision alongside with members of my cabinet. I think we need to do this on a yearly basis. And the next one will be in 2027, even though we've not fixed the date. But we are now the date early enough so that people can begin to plan. And we also can plan better than what we're having right now. So that the next investment summit, we will present measurable results, highlight implemented projects, and showcase the real economic impact generated from commitments made here today. Those MOU will not just be on paper. It will turn the soil, it will break ground. And by next year, we'll be able to give feedback of how far we have gone. The film village that Ramotola spoke about, we will look at it, how far have we been able to put something on ground? And all the other beautiful, laudable ideas that have been mentioned in the course of this summit. We are transitioning deliberately and strategically from a consumption-driven economy to a production-driven, private sector-led industrial powerhouse. And that is what we're trying to do. This summit represents that transition. It is not a ceremony. It is not just a conversation. It is a commitment that has been signed, sealed, and will be delivered. Under these administrations, our ease agenda, even though distinguished Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, not so conversant with what is happening here, talked as if we don't have a structure. He only knew about the the New Hope agenda of the president, because he is at the Senate, at the national level. Here at the state, what we call our ease. That is our policy thrust, where the O stand for order, security, and rule of law. The U stand of urban renewal and development, and so on and so forth. It's our policy thrust. We have focused on one clear objective with all of these 7 points agenda, all synchronizing into one clear objective, and that is creating an enabling environment where investment thrives. Here in Ondo State, you will experience the ease of doing business, which is one of the charge or advice, mentioned by not just one person, but a lot of speakers earlier on. We are simplifying processes. We are strengthening institutions. We are improving transparency. We are accelerating approvals. We are removing all the bottlenecks, all the bureaucratic processes, and that is why we have UNDIPA, which is the investment vehicle or wing of the government, so that a lot of processes can be simplified for ease of doing business. This is because investors do not go where there is potential alone. Investors go to where there is structure, certainty, and political will. And Ondo State offers all the three. We have structures, there is certainty here, and we have the political will to drive whatever business we want to do. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, KBACs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our valued investors, Ondo State is not asking for opportunity. We are presenting opportunity to all of you. Peradventure, you don't know before now. We possess one of the longest natural coastlines in Nigeria, approximately 75 kilometers with direct access to Atlantic Ocean. I mean to also mention, it's been mentioned by some other speakers earlier on, and from the short video clip that you watched about Ondo State, the second largest bitumen deposit in the world, next to Canada. Rich agricultural assets, including our cocoa, that John Vent and Co. has turned into converted into real wealth. Oil palm is here. That is the new revolution in agri right now. We have allocated thousands of hectares to those who have invested in plantation of palm produce. The JB farms of this world, the Sao Agro Services, the Rex Forestry, and all of them. We also have rubber plantation here. In fact, one of the most thriving business in Araromiobu, owned by the state and some other private investors. And we also have timber. Right now, Rex Forestry is planting trees, and they have the biggest plywood factory right now that's supposed to be commissioned yesterday, but for want of time, it will be commissioned sometime this week. We have significant deposit of limestone, granite, kaolin, and other commercially viable solid minerals. Let me also mention this way about kaolin. We have good deposit at Okeluse. Sample has been taken to the laboratory, and the result fantastic. And there's a gentleman who is doing the fertilizer and petrochemical company who's also thinking about setting up cement factory in that location, because that is the raw material that is needed for cement production. exploration of oil and gas in the larger local government area of Ondo State. All of these part of the resources that God has deposited in Ondo State. We are just presenting that opportunity to you so that you can begin to invest. We are strategically connected as a state geographically to at least 7 neighboring states. That means you can access different states from this location. And like Abike said, Honorable Abike mentioned, we also have a strong and committed diaspora community. Our people are scattered all over the world. And they are not just scattered, but they are doing very, very well. In fact, we have one of the best doctors in the world. He's from Ondo State here. The one who brought out the fetus, perform operation and return it back to the womb. Brilliant people. Foremost among our catalytic initiative is the proposed Ondo Deep Seaport under a public-private partnership concession framework with a natural draft of between 16.5 and 18 meters and direct access to the Atlantic. The port is designed to accommodate large commercial vessels, positioning Ondo State as a major maritime gateway. Let me just mention here that I visited China about this time last year, immediately after my election, before the inauguration, with my team. And we visited this particular company that we just signed an MOU with. They run the busiest port in the whole world, Shandong Port in China. And they also have a deep sea port. In their own case, to get the kind of draft that we have naturally here, they have to construct 32 kilometers of road, 4 lanes on each side, into the sea, to be able to get the draft that can take large vessels, the type that, we are expecting to bath in around this port, seaport. For us, we are just going to construct 2 kilometers into the sea to access 18-meter draft. And when we mentioned this to them, they said, that is small fry. Come and visit us. We drove to cover 32 kilometers bridge to get to the airport. Ours is just 2 kilometers. Adjacent to this transformative infrastructure is the Sunshine Industrial City, designated as a free trade zone on 2,771 hectares. I just received a letter from the Federal Ministry of Finance that Ondo State has been chosen as a state where the ministry is going to partner with the state to build Diaspora City. Yes. In fact, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance is supposed to be here today, but for some other engagement in Abuja. We discussed about this already. They mean it. They have the money. We just have to provide the land. So they're asking us to provide landed area where that will be built. Diaspora City. That we have a lot of facility, hospitals, schools, entertainment, and all of that. Together, they form an integrated port-linked industrial ecosystem encompassing manufacturing, maritime services, petrochemical processing, agro-industrial facilities, and logistics platforms with direct export access. That is what the port will give to us and the free trade zone. This convergence of geography, policy support, tax incentives, and institutional backing presents a frontier opportunity grounded in sound fundamentals. For those of you who are bankers, you can check the fundamentals. Thank God the MD of First Bank is here, and the DMD of Fidelity Bank. The fundamentals are very strong concerning Ondo State. Do your background check. Sunbelt Global, they are a young man that is thriving so well, and John Vent, he made a passing that he doesn't want all of you to come to Ondo State so that they can keep on expanding and enjoying, the benefit. But they alone cannot. You are limited to a great extent. Can you do the seaport? If you can, you're supposed to have him, talk to us by now. What of the bitumen is still there, untapped? The kaolin has been there at Okeluse, for cement factory. So the opportunities abound. They are there. So we need investors to come to Ondo State. The fundamentals are sound. They are very strong. Return on investment is huge. In energy and industrial development, our proximity to the Niger Delta energy belt provides compelling fundamentals for gas-based industries, embedded generation solutions, and independent power projects tailored to industrial clusters. From here, for those who are in oil and gas, it's because certain infrastructures have not been provided before now, which we are going to build. It is closer to jet out from here to Agbami, the platform, rather than going to Warri or Port Harcourt. Very closer to Agbami from here. Those who are in oil and gas, they know this. So we are providing all of this so that Ondo State can really be that destination. As the global energy transition reshapes production models, Ondo State is positioning itself as a reliable hub for distributed and transition economy energy solutions. More importantly, our vibrant young population run into millions, strong, energetic, innovative, and increasingly skilled. We are intensifying human capital development through entrepreneurship and innovation programs and expanding support for micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises and our young entrepreneurs. The man, Dr. Sumi Francis, is the one in charge of Ondo State Entrepreneurship Agency, ONDIA, where we train young ones with various skills and also equip them. And we do organize some kind of competition among them where the best 10 in their line of products are being sponsored to travel abroad for exposure, and that is still running. It is this investment in our people that transforms resources into prosperity. We are not here to merely showcase resources, even though we showcase them, provide the opportunity for those who will engage. We are here to move from potential to production, from conversation to capital deployment, from memoranda to measurable outcomes. This is why this summit includes sector-focused investment sessions and a direct investors roundtable with my office, my economic team, and advisors, where investors will have the opportunity to present their proposals and decisions will not linger in bureaucracy. If you have it right now, we'll dot it and sign it. We are committed to clarity, we are committed to speed, and we are committed to results. Now, to our brothers and sisters in diaspora, this is for you. You have sustained families, communities, and economies through remittances. Now, I invite you to go beyond remittance. I invite you to come to become strategic partners in industrial development of our state. Direct diaspora investment will be one of the pillars of our long-term growth strategy. We will join federal government in building that diaspora city. Beyond your capital, we want your expertise too. You've learned some things in the other nations. Knowledge transfer is important. We don't know it all here. That is why you had the opportunity of going outside the country to develop nations so that you can bring some of those knowledge back home to also train our people. We want also your global networks. And we are ready to provide the framework that protects and multiplies your investment. We do understand that sustainable development is private sector driven and government enabled. Our role is to provide infrastructure which we are providing, regulatory clarity which is transparent enough, security which we are doing. Ondo State has been adjudged to be one of the safest states in Nigeria with our homegrown Amotekun Corps, collaborating with other security agencies in providing a stable society, a secure state for all our residents and visitors, and also policy stability. Your role is to bring innovation. We are to provide the environment that is enabled. Bring innovation, bring capital, and bring global competitiveness. Together, we build industries. Together, we'll create jobs. And together, we'll secure prosperity. As I highlighted earlier on, this investment summit will not be a one-off event. It will be institutionalized as an annual platform for global engagement. At the investment summit, we will first review the outcomes of the previous editions, demonstrating tracked investments, executed projects, and real testimonials from smart investors who seize the opportunity presented here today. Just as John Vent and Sunberg Global Concept, we also have a lot of them that we're not able to invite here to be part of these. The Dumia Gold that is drilling already in Ipele in Owo. The Rex Forestry, an arm, a subsidiary of Mobile, NIPCO PLC, and other chains of businesses they have. They are also doing a major work in the agri-sector. All of these and those who will start today will listen to their testimonials too in our next edition. Let it be known today, on this very first anniversary of our administration, that I stand before you and declare to the world, Ondo State is open. Like never before, we are open for business. We are open for industry. We are open for innovation. And we are open for global partnership. Ondo State is rising, and together we shall witness its transformation. You and I, and those coming behind. For at the end of our own journey here, in this administration, we'll be bequeathing for those that will be coming behind a solid foundation and a grown economy that they also can begin to build upon. Thank you for listening. God bless Ondo State, and God bless
Tell them to
the
off the mic.
Federal Republic of Nigeria.